It's time for the Combiner Wars! Hey guys, what's up? BC coming back at you guys with yet another Transformers video review, and this time we are going to be taking a look at the complete Combiner Superion. As you can tell, I backed the camera up so that I will be able to get the full Combiner in shot. Or at least the whole gang first, then the Combiner. The Combiner, I will probably pull this forward, but whatever. So first things first, we're going to take care of him because he's going to be the quickest one. You basically just flip him somewhat back to jet mode, but then just kind of stop. So plug in his arms up here, pop this piece, and then extend it forward, rotate his head around, and flip the landing gear back out because that's actually what's going to be the handle. Sorry if I go out of frame a lot, I apologize. I'm not technically used to being this far in front of the camera, so to speak. Flip the little pieces around like that, and then slide the boosters forward to be the barrels. Just make sure, and then make sure everything else straightens itself out. Make sure the target's straight, or the targeting system is straight, and there you go. There he is in gun mode. Anyways, let's start with Silverbolt. Bring Silverbolt to the front. Silverbolt, you basically disarm him. First things first, you disarm him. And you take these, put them back together, and you set it off. And you set this piece off to the side because that's going to be his the combiner mode's gun. What you're going to do here is you're going to flip his hands up like this, straighten his arms out, and with those super tight ratchet joints, flip his arms up like that, cartwheel him, pop this piece forward, and before you flip his head in, I learned that basically, instead of trying to grab onto these and pull the head out, what you're going to do is you're actually going to stick your finger in here and pop the combiner head out like that. Now you're going to flip this. Now you're going to flip his head back in, close it up, take his feet, flip his heel spurs in, and flip the back panels out so that you can get the feet flipped back in. And then rotate them around and plug them back into where they were in jet mode. Same little slot right there from the jet mode is where this is going to slot in. And kind of rotate the antenna forward. And I kind of fixed the antenna so that they actually flip forward correctly. And then you come underneath here, flip that Autobot symbol up, and then you proceed to rotate these panels in and cover the rest of that gap. And there is the very floppy plastic ears and bits of Superion's chest. Oh, I'm going to flip these pieces down too for the combiner bits. And basically, this spring-loaded bit is what's going to allow you to slide everything in. But anyways, there you go. There's the combiner torso for Superion. So we're going to set that down somewhere. Okay, fine. We're going to set it there. We're gonna go with skydive first. Skydive. We're gonna pull his gun out. How do you do? Oh, okay. Basically, you just start turning him back into a jet. Spin his head around and then flip it around so that you get the combiner peg. egg, take his foot off, flip this out, and there's the foot. And I guess, you know, the gun, what I usually do is I take Skydive's gun and I plug it on top of this to add a little bit more firepower. With that done, you're going to basically pop this piece and rotate it back down for his jet mode, and again just kind of start turning him back into a jet, but then like halfway through just kind of stop. There we go. Once you hear that nice loud click, you know you did everything right. Alright, just kind of get him like this. And then you're going to take this, and you're going to plug it in right there, and there is his leg mode. So set that there. Because then we're going to do basically the same thing to air raid. Because let's face it, we need our combiner to stand. Air raid's gun, since I use the only free access port on the gun, I place this on his back. One of the things I like about these combiners, storage for the weapons, and then the thing starts falling over once I plug that gun in. Come on, stay standing. There we go. Anyways, air raid, it's basically the same idea. Again, same idea. Just start turning him back into a jet and then stop halfway. And you kind of fold all this down. I'll plug it all in. Fold this down, plug it in, fold this down, plug it in. Flip that piece out. Plug him in. And you could, like, I have photo evidence of it, and I might I might actually show it off at the end because it looks so stupid that I was literally cracking up in a Google Hangout with my friends as I was putting it together. But you know, yeah, there you go. There's your two legs, and how this is gonna work is there's a little again, you know, like I pointed out, the little spring-loaded orange mechanism. These with the little grooves are gonna slide in, and this is basically like a door. You slide it through until the very ridge of it slaps over top, and unless like you can pull it straight out, but while it's in there, it's in there. It's in there. Like, you're not gonna tear it right off the very moment you start playing with it. So anyways, you slide the legs on, and there is he's super tall. This is gonna prove to be a bit of a problem. Anyways, moving on to Firefly. Takes flamethrower. I plug it in right there on his hip, which to my own surprise it actually doesn't hinder much of the hip articulation, but whatever. Take the hand-foot gun piece out, and this is gonna be our right hand. So this is going to flip out, and with the thumb fold it down. For your right hand, you push it there, and there you go. There's the right hand. And I guess since this is the hand that's gonna hold the rifle, there you go. Even more firepower. Anyways, you're gonna take Firefly, bring his arms back like this, and twist them at the bicep swivel. And there's this little peg right here. The light's kind of catching it right there, but there's a little peg right there that his hands are going to grab onto. Those are basically there entirely to let you know that that's where the arms need to be for the combined mode. Flip the port out like that. Combine his legs together. Rotate them around, bend them at the knee. and then take your ludicrously long gun hand, plug it in, and then slide them on. All that's left now is Alpha Bravo. Oh, and basically what you're gonna do here, again, this gun goes right here. Here, you're gonna basically put his arms at a complete 90 degrees and then fold them back. Put his legs together, rotate them, bend at the knee, rotate the head, flip out the combiner port. Easy peasy. Easy. Do the same thing for this combiner hand. Only this time you're going to slot Power Glide into the fist. And basically Power Glide's, like I said, Power Glide's landing gear is the handle for the gun. Then you're going to take it and slot it in. And then you're going to slide that on. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the completed combiner Superion. And I'm just gonna say it, this is fantastic. For an officially licensed Hasbro product, this is fantastic. He's just like I won't lie, I cheated and I put drag strip on as the right leg just to see the combiner, just to see how the combined mode would stand up, and I was already pretty smitten there. Seeing him with air raid and just the complete look, even though it's not slingshot, this looks fantastic. I cannot gush over this enough. Even though he's not my favorite combiner, it's very clear he's the most successful of the two, because I have Menasor too, but I'll get into that in his review, in his combiner review. But basically, actually holding this as a toy, this is a friggin' beefy, bulky bot. And what really, like, the aspect about this that is even greater is the articulation level, because he's got a fully swivel head. He's got a left and right swivel joint in the head, no ball joint, unfortunately. Shoulders on the combiner ports move up and down, go in and out. They bends at the elbows through both Alpha Bravo and Firefly, or Skydive and Air Raid if you preferred. Their knee joints become the combiner's elbow joints, so they can hold various poses. And they have a bicep swivel, which is like easily 10 times better than any other bicep swivel. Fully ratcheted hips from Silverbolt's shoulders, as well as a fully ratcheted joint going outwards, as I showed off, and then a fully ratcheted knee joint. Nothing at the ankles due to how everything attaches, but you can swivel them on the actual connector joint, which is the same over here on the wrist. Overall, fantastic. This really is what you buy the Combiner Wars line. This is what you're buying all the Combiner Wars figures for. You're not going to display them, like, unless you only get one from each team, and then you leave it at that because they're your favorite character for whatever reason. You know, that's fine. If you go at, when you're one of those people where you go after the full combiner, you intend to display it in their combined mode. And that's clearly where Hasbro focused most of the effort into these guys on. Silverbolt is a fantastic figure. Skydive's a fantastic figure. Air Raid's a cool figure. Alpha Bravo is a very high surprise. And Firefly, while he is my least favorite, is still a pretty damn cool toy. But when you combine them together, this is what Hasbro went for. This was the part that needed to be successful no matter what, and they nailed it. As I kick the camera. But yeah, you basically get what I'm saying here. Overall, how do I feel about... Okay, not how do I feel. Do I recommend Superion? That's actually a tough one. I love him. I really do. But he's not for everybody. If you have Uranos, if you have... Actually, I think Uranos is the only other third-party Superion out there. So yeah, if you have Uranos, then you're probably going to be happy with that. But for basically something that's basically more than a half of what you're going to be, like basically 15 each for a limb, so 15, 30, 45, so $60 give or take for the 4 limbs, 70 when you include Power Glide, so about $95. For $95 you get a complete Superion, to whereas you're paying up front about $300 to $400. And he's a cheaper alternative, and he looks great. I love having him on my classic shelf. He looks fantastic there. So with that said, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. This is BC saying stay there to get your geek on. I will catch you guys next time.